Phones at concerts. Yes or no? This has been on my mind a lot in the last couple of weeks because I was looking up to see Jack White. At the time of this recording, Jack White was playing in Toronto this past Tuesday. I guess it's to promote his latest album that came out, I think, just a week ago, which is great. I'm loving it. And I didn't realize he was coming to Toronto. And so when I saw that, I was like, oh, maybe I'll check this out because Katie and I live just outside of Toronto. So I drive into Toronto a couple of times a week for work. So I'm like, I'm already in the city. Maybe I'll go. So I look it up on Ticketmaster, and I've never seen this before for a show that I've been interested in going to, that it said this show is a no phones show. Like, you'll have to put your phones into a pouch for the whole concert. And it said something like, we think this will be a good experience for the artist and the audience. And it just got me thinking, Katie, about phones at concerts, because it is a pretty trendy topic in the world of music, in the world of live music. And I was just like, how do I feel about that?
Yeah.
A no phone at a concert.
Yeah. So, okay, sorry. Let's begin this. So you've been at a few comedy shows where it's known comedians have done this for a while.
Comedians have done this for a while. I will say this is a few years ago. I did go see Bill Burr. And
the same thing.
You had to put your phone in a pouch. That's the only one I've seen.
But okay, so this is just a totally silly question. Like, how do they keep track? Like, what do you do to get your phone back?
Yeah, so
obviously there's like thousands of you.
Yeah, so this was at the Scotiabank Arena, so it was like 15,000 people, huge venue. And it didn't really shock me because I know comedians have been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
It makes sense. You want to you say the same material at every city.
You want to keep
it. That makes sense. So when you walk in and they scan your ticket, which is on the phone, after that they stick it into this pouch.
Okay.
And it like connects. I don't know. I know one of the big pouches is like Yonder.
Okay.
That I think like Jack White uses. I don't know which one it was. It might have been that. It's in this like big kind of bulky pouch, and the top, it's like this magnetic top.
Okay.
And it's just in that for the whole duration.
So you keep the phone on you.
You keep the phone on you. Yeah.
I was thinking of like coat check, and I'm like, how do you keep track of these thousands upon thousands of phones?
And then when you're leaving the venue, it's like, I don't know, it's kind of like clothes. Remember clothes at stores to take the ink thing off? It's kind of like that. They touch this thing and they give you your phone. It was actually pretty smooth. It was actually pretty smooth.
You keep it in your purse or in your pocket.
Yeah. And I know some have said that it is pretty bulky and kind of annoying. So if you don't have a purse, it might not fit in like your jean pocket. So that's one thing that people have said. But it wasn't that bad. But I know this got some buzz a few months ago because the artist Phoebe Bridgers,
she's against phones at concerts.
So she's doing this big tour and she said no phones. Now, apparently she's using Yonder. So you get the phone in the pouch and she'll have designated areas where you can take the phone out.
Okay.
I guess, yeah, if you need to use it or whatever. But then it also said, apparently hers, it's if you're caught filming, you'll be asked to leave the show. I don't think, from what I read for Jack White, that wasn't the case. The phone stays in your pouch the whole night until it's done.
Okay.
Now, full disclosure, I did not go see Jack White.
Wah, wah.
Unfortunately, Katie knows my story where I park usually at the end
As
of
if people care,
of a
but
subway
yeah.
stop. So I wanted to drive downtown, could not find parking. So it was really stupid on my part. But anyways, so I didn't go, but it got me thinking that my initial reaction to that was, oh, I want to take a picture. I want to take a clip of sexy Jack White up there on stage.
Jack White.
Doing his thing.
One of my favorite rock stars.
I know. I had serious concert FOMO of that one.
Yeah.
But his opener was, I think I've mentioned them to you, Angine de Poitrine. Apologies, I'm butchering that.
I don't remember that, no.
Okay,
sorry.
Look them up.
I'm laughing, not at the band. I'm laughing at my sister trying to pronounce it.
Yes, sorry. Apologies. I butchered that pronunciation. They're from Quebec.
Oh.
It's really cool. Yeah, they're Canadian. They're creating quite a bit of buzz, but look them up and then you'll see why I wanted to take a picture of them. Okay. And if you know them, they dress up in like a costume. Their music's really good. So I'm like, oh, that would have been really cool to take a shot
Yeah.
of them and then take a few pictures of Jack
Yeah.
White. So with that, I was like, oh, maybe we should like unpack this a bit and talk
Yeah.
about just as regular people going to a show, how we feel about no phones at concerts, and then also thinking of the artist perspective as well.
Yeah.
So I can kind of see both sides, yes or
Yeah.
no, pros and cons of it.
A few years back, Sarah, I do remember it made headlines. Miranda Lambert, not typically Sarah and I's style of music, country musician. She called out a fan for using a phone at the concert.
Okay.
And from my remembrance, Sarah, she got a lot of flack for that.
Okay.
A lot of, oh, who do you think you are, telling fans what to do. They're allowed to take photos and videos if they want.
Yeah, I was went down the rabbit hole of phones at concerts, and I didn't realize there's quite a few big names that have done this.
Yep.
Bob Dylan,
Yes, I saw that.
Alicia Keys,
Yep.
Jack White has been doing it since like 2022.
Oh, he's been doing. I saw a clip, Sarah, him talking to The Edge. I think it was from 2018.
Oh,
let me
okay.
double check that.
And Bruno Mars, I know some of these artists we don't typically
Yeah,
talk
he
about.
actually has a song specifically for concerts called like "I Took Your Phone."
Oh, really? Well, because he said no phones for his Las Vegas residency.
Oh, was that
So
what
I
happened?
guess, I like.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I have a clip, Sarah. It says, this is from 102.1 The Edge, which is the alternative rock station in Toronto. And it says, in 2018, Jack White shared with us why his shows have become phone free,
Oh,
a policy he still upholds.
wow.
And, sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say. So there's a clip. Justin Hawkins, who's the front man for The Darkness, he has a YouTube channel. I'm a big fan. He's quite charming, actually. So he has a little clip about phones at concerts, and I was interested to hear his take because he's speaking as an actual musician on stage, right? But he just talks about Jack White, and there's a clip in this YouTube video of Jack White talking about how he thought it would be kind of an experiment
Yep.
to try it out. And the way he explained it, I was like, oh, that's really interesting. Kind of an experiment. And he's like, I just wanted to see how the audience reacted to this.
Mm-hmm.
But then I guess it was a good experience. And so he's continued with it.
Well, that's what the clip from The Edge, that's what he said. He said
Okay.
people turned out to love it. And I wanted to watch the clip because I think Miranda Lambert, a lot of people thought she came across as pretentious and think she's better than everyone by telling the fan to put away her phone.
Okay. Yeah.
Jack White doesn't come across as pretentious at all in this
No.
clip.
Yeah.
Like, he comes across as, number one, he said at some point he's putting on the show and people are just all down on their phones.
Yeah.
And he said, how can I compete with that? But he also, by the end, makes it sound like it's for the audience so you can really enjoy it and you don't feel like such like a drone to your phone.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. Putting like I think of that like the artist on stage and everybody's got their phones up or their heads are down.
Yeah.
And that connection that they say like immersive experience.
Yeah.
For you as the audience and for the artist as well, more of a connection without the phone. I was super intrigued that Jack White said the no phone to go
Yeah.
and check that out. I will say though, because I would have been going alone after work. And so I was just thinking, like, again, just a regular person just going to the show. In between, like, the opener before Jack White gets on, I'm sitting there. I'm like, oh,
What do you do?
It would be nice to have my phone. But then I'm like, well, I guess you could people watch, look around.
What they did in the 90s, Sarah.
Yeah. Or I was like, oh, maybe I could, like, chat up the hot guy sitting beside me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, which sounds silly, but you don't with our phones.
Yeah.
I would just be glued to my phone. So, yeah, it got me thinking. I was like, oh, that might be kind of neat.
Jack White said the biggest complaint was that people don't know the time.
Oh, yeah.
Like, fair enough.
That's true. Well, I was thinking that because years ago, going to a digital music festival, I had to work that day and my friend didn't. So she's like, I'm going to go earlier. We'll meet up after. I have to say, it was really handy having our phones to be like, hey, where are you at? I'm here now. Okay, I'm by this stand. Like things like that if you go with someone.
Well, there's
The
that
time,
Seinfeld
yeah.
episode where they just can't get the time right to go to the movie theater.
Yeah.
And
Nowadays,
thing is, like, this
yeah.
episode couldn't even exist nowadays because that
Yeah.
wouldn't be a thing.
There's a Mad
Yeah.
About You episode like that too, where you're like, now you would just text each other.
Yeah.
But you can make a whole show out of it in the 90s. Yeah. Like but on the flip side to that, I know some artists, like there are some artists like Billie Eilish is a little bit more pro phone because
Oh,
she's,
really?
well, she was like, and she's speaking as a Gen Z, right? So she's quite a bit younger than like Jack White. I don't even know if Billie Eilish is 25. And she was like, it's a part of our culture now. It's what young people do. And she even said, even I like to record stuff. And I was like, yeah, I can kind of see that. And shockingly, Damon Albarn was like okay with phones because he
Really?
thinks, which I was surprised, he thinks it kind of it can add to the experience of the concert. And his argument was, if you're engaging enough as the artist, people will be into it and they may not look at their phone too much. And he said when Blur did their Wembley reunion a couple summers ago, he said it was really nice when everybody had their phone lights up when they played Tender. And I'm like, it does look nice when everybody has their
Yeah.
phone in the dark. But I was like, oh, I was surprised. I didn't think that would be Damon Albarn's take on it.
No.
Having said that, that was 2 years ago. I don't know. Maybe he's changed
Yeah.
his tune. But I was like, yeah, because when you think about it at a concert, it's like you're looking, but it's also the sound of it. And I guess that's more primarily rock music, which is what we
Yeah.
talk about. Like, okay, we went to see Oasis, and it's cool to be there, whether you're looking at the stage or not. You're like, I am listening to Noel Gallagher play his guitar in real time. So there is that feeling too
Yeah.
at a concert that I think is really cool.
Yeah.
Although at the Oasis show, the person beside me was on their phone looking at like the merchandise.
Oh my goodness, that was so annoying. I thought, like, just watch the show.
I was kind of like, dude, like you paid good money to be here.
I know. I noticed him doing that too.
I was like, man, watch the show.
And then
yeah.
I was
But-
also, the couple was nice, but I was a bit bothered when I went to see Blink. They're playing Down, which is,
Okay.
spoiler alert, my favorite Blink 182 song. And of course, it's during that song that a couple's like, can you take a picture of us?
Oh, that's annoying. Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
this
that's
is-
bold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is
yeah.
my favorite. So what did I do?
Yeah.
I was like, okay. And then, of
Yeah.
course, I'm like, well, can you take a picture of me and my husband?
Yeah, sure.
But kind of looking back, I'm like, darn, that was my favorite Blink
Yeah.
song. And I lost a
Yeah.
bit of it because of the phones.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It was like I do take clips of the live music, but like I'll do like maybe 20 seconds of a song I like, put it away, and then enjoy the song.
Yeah.
And for like 80% of the songs, I just enjoy it. Like
Yeah. Well, I remember when we went to see Gwen Stefani in Vegas. Do you remember, Sarah? I asked you, I said, like, can you just take
Yeah.
a couple photos? Because I said, I just want to enjoy this show.
You did.
And I don't want to have the stress of taking photos.
Yes, yes. And so because you were a bigger fan, I was like on the designated photo watch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you
no,
did get some
it's
great photos.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, well, we were pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and then I guess with the no phones, and maybe this was like it adds to the hype of the concert
Yeah.
and the exclusivity. I don't know. Do you think it does? Because I was thinking, like, Katie and I went to see Oasis last year when they came to Toronto, and I knew everything I was going to see. Like, I knew the visuals and the set list
Because-
before
yeah.
because it was all
We
out there.
YouTubed it and whatnot.
I even had a pretty good idea of what they were going to be wearing. And yet I was still super excited and I still had a great time, even
Yeah.
knowing. So I guess the hype, it kind of could work both ways because, and maybe this is great if you're a smaller artist, like if people are taking clips of you and they post it on social media, it could create hype for your tour.
yeah.
But I guess there's also the exclusivity of it if you don't have that. I don't know. It
I
could work both
didn't
ways.
realize that Jack White's been doing this for 8 years.
I know.
I thought that was interesting when I saw
Yeah.
that clip. I'm like, wow, 2018, that's a long time ago. So he's been doing it for a while.
Yeah, no, he's like the coolest guy, Jack White.
Oh, Jack White.
The thing with I know Jack White. Let's just take a moment. But the thing is, Jack White, his audience will be okay with it,
Yeah.
probably, right? A little bit older. You're really into the music. Like
Yeah.
Sabrina Carpenter mentioned, she wouldn't mind banning phones, but she said she's like, I know my audience would be pissed off about that, which is
Yeah.
true, right? So you kind of have to know your audience as well
Yeah.
in order to do this. Like I think that could work with Jack
Yeah.
White, and Jack White is in a really great position where he's very successful, critically
Yes.
acclaimed, right?
Yeah.
Like he can do it.
And like you
if you're
said, Sarah, a
smaller.
lot of his audience, White Stripes, they've been around since the late 90s, haven't they really? Like the early stuff.
They've been around for a while.
So they have
Yeah.
older fans who maybe are like, yeah, I'm okay with not having my phone.
Exactly. Like Billie Eilish and Sabrina Carpenter. It's probably going to be a younger crowd,
Yeah.
and they may want their phone more.
Yeah.
But yeah, the millennial cringe in me, I was like, oh my god, I want to take a picture or a video.
I was embarrassed when we went to see the Black Keys and there was a couple guys beside us and they were coming back and they're like, oh, don't want to get in the way of your video.
Oh, did they say
Yeah.
that? Okay.
And I was like, like, okay, in my defense, they were getting up a lot.
Yes,
so that
they
was
were.
kind of annoying.
Yeah.
And I was just doing one little clip for our podcast.
Yeah. It's
I wasn't on my
fun.
phone the
Yeah,
whole time.
Yeah.
But that being said, there are some people, I do find it a bit irritating when they're on their phone the whole concert.
Like,
Because I'm like,
you mean they're recording it?
they're recording it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, when are you going to watch this? Like, it's probably not that great of sound or quality anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Take a clip of your favorite song and leave it at that.
Well, to be devil's advocate to that, though, I have to say, I do watch a lot of clips on YouTube, and it's people that clearly recorded
We're just
something on their phone.
standing there?
Like,
Okay.
Johnny Marr. Sorry, Johnny Marr. I have watched. Not that that would deter me from seeing Johnny Marr. I would
Yeah.
gladly go and pay to see Johnny Marr. But like the Radiohead, somebody was like super close to Tom York when they were playing last year in
And they-
Europe. I'll admit, I watched like the whole hour.
You
concert.
watched it, but did you, if you had never come across it, Sarah, would you feel any?
But no,
less-
but it was interesting to see it because they didn't come to North America.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, this is really cool. Like I'm just talking as like
Yeah.
a regular person that just whatever. So that was kind of cool, but I know it's annoying for the like it's free. Like I'm watching
Well,
it for free, right? Which isn't really
yeah.
fair to Radiohead
I
to take the time to put on this tour.
I was surprised at the artists that I found who don't allow phones at their show or don't like are verbally against it. Like Corey Taylor from Slipknot. He doesn't like phones at the show.
Oh, really?
Tom
Okay.
Morello from Rage Against the Machine.
Oh, yeah.
He had a fan come up on stage. Like he invited a fan up on stage and
Yeah.
the fan wanted to get a selfie and like he actually took the phone and threw it.
Oh my gosh.
But
wow.
But he said the fan got his phone back and he said, in my defense, I told people I don't want phones at the show. It takes away.
Yeah. No, for sure. Justin Hawkins, when he's talking about it, there's a clip and he takes a phone from I guess the people were pretty close to
Yeah.
him, and he takes a phone and he's just like ticked. He's like, what are you doing with this phone? Come on.
Yeah.
Like,
Corey Taylor apparently did
take
that
it
too
away.
at a
Yeah.
show. But he
Yeah.
said after, he's like, my fan and I had a good laugh about it. Like I
yeah.
did end up giving his phone back.
Well, oh, sorry. Well, I thought was a good idea was Karen O from Yeah Yeah Yeah.
Oh, I saw. Yep, they're another band.
They're another band, but what she kind of implemented was she kind of stood there and she's like, okay, everybody get your phone out, take a couple of shots of us, then put it away. And I was like, that's a nice balance. Like I was almost thinking, because I mean, phones, they're just a part of who we are now, right? They're not going anywhere.
They're not.
And so it's like, maybe the band could be like, okay, we're going to play this song, take your phone out, do your thing, then put the phone away and let's have a concert. I don't know. I thought that was an interesting way to do it.
Yeah.
Or like I was thinking you could put posters up just saying, hey, could you please put your phone away sometimes? I don't know. I know that's a bit. But
No, what I like about my daughter's dance recital is you're not allowed to use phones, and I found people were respectful of that.
yeah.
And they said we will have a professional photographer at the rehearsal. They will take photos, and that's where you'll get your photos and videos from.
Well, that's what Jack White said. He's like, don't worry. Photos are being taken. You can get them from our website
See,
after.
I
So I was like,
think
okay.
that's fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll be honest, Sarah, I'm not really like, I don't really have strong feelings in the sense of like, oh, that's terrible that Jack White did that, or I'm
Yeah.
not like, oh, good for you, Jack White, applauding you.
Yeah.
Or maybe I am because I like Jack White. But I just think it's a problem in general, Sarah. I just think we're all on our phones too much. Maybe this is
Yeah.
going off topic of rock music, but the other day I'm driving down the street and there's this guy walking with his kid in a stroller and his wife or partner and his dogs, and he's just on his phone.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do you need to be on your phone?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm part of the problem too. Am I on my phone too much? Yes, I am on my phone too much. But
Yeah.
there's been a few times lately where I just don't take my phone when I go out. Like I'll go to the grocery store and I'll just bring a piece of paper and a pen.
Wow.
And it feels so
Yeah.
good.
I've gone for walks and I leave the phone at home and I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm just gonna go for a walk around a park. And
It's so
It is
fulfilling.
nice,
And I
yeah.
used to keep my phone beside me at night, like on my bedstand. And I've stopped doing that. And again, it's so much better for my mental health to just not wake up in the middle of the night, look at my phone, or wake up first thing in the mornings, look at my phone. And I was doing that.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, I know what Jack White said. He's like,
Yeah.
after we did it, a lot of people were like, wow, actually, that's really great.
Yes. So I get it. Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't be opposed if I was going to see an artist and it said heads up, no phone show. It wouldn't turn me off.
I was going to say, would it turn you off? Because when I saw that with Jack White, I was like, oh, but it didn't like turn me off.
No.
But it's also, I'm a really big fan of Jack White.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't take much. Like,
Yeah.
so like maybe like Oasis, no phones. But again, I would have been like, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm of two minds. I think it's up to the artist. And as the artist, you know your audience. The venue that you're renting out, it's yours for the night. You're inviting people into your artistic orbit. And if you feel like no phones is better for that, I respect that.
I do. And if you don't like that
yeah.
as a fan, then just don't go to the show.
Well, that's the thing too, right? It's your decision to pay the money if
Yeah.
you want to go
If
see.
you really like them, Jack White, and you're not really that into that not having the phone, but if you really like him, you'll probably let that slide and just go.
For sure. Yeah. And then that's kind of cool as the artist because you're like, oh, the people that are here are like actual fans that are really going to be engaging and the vibe will be there.
I think we've discussed this a few times on the show before, Sarah, where I think sometimes we all forget, like, yes, we are the fans. Yes, we've paid for the tickets. We've paid for your albums. Like, we're the reason you're as big as you are.
Right.
But at the end of the day, they're still human. So to look out into an audience and they're all down on their phones texting or not paying attention, like, that would be disheartening.
Yeah.
And Jack White, it sounds like that's kind of what was starting to happen with him.
Yeah,
He
for
said,
sure.
how do I compete?
Yeah. Or the phone is just like up
Yeah.
in front of their faces,
Yeah.
right? That's all you see. Yeah. The flip to that, though, just as someone in the audience, when it's a really big show, looking at your screen, like you kind of do look at the big screens
Yeah.
when it's a huge show anyway.
Yeah.
Like you see this person on a screen.
Yeah.
But I guess still the feeling of connecting with the stage and being
Yeah.
there. It is really nice. No, I respect it. I mean, if the artist wants to implement that, I'm okay with it.
Yeah. I'm okay with it too.
I'm also okay with the phone because I admit I do like doing vlogs and stuff. I mean, I had a fashion blog back in the day. We have a podcast. I just like doing shit like this. So like, I like filming a few little
I
clips.
know. And
so
like
there
I
is a
said,
balance,
I was
right?
embarrassed when the guy was like, oh, I don't want to get into your video. But at the same time, I felt like saying, I just have a podcast. I'm just like doing like 20 seconds for my podcast.
I think that's okay.
Yeah.
Like I saw the Buzzcocks a few weeks ago, and yes, when they started playing "Ever Fallen in Love," I
did whip out your
I whipped
phone.
out my phone because
when
I'm like,
Tonic played, if you could only see
yeah,
a few
like
months back, I did whip out my phone.
they start cranking supersonic, phone comes out. Like it is good to just kind of relax. But I like filming maybe like, I don't know, 20 seconds, then you put it away.
Yeah.
Right. And then you really get into it. So there is that balance.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and
I do understand.
as I
yeah.
said, this is just me personally. I'm trying to be on my phone less because it's just, I think it takes away from you enjoying the moment. And I think phones lately, it's all advertising. They're just trying to get you to buy stuff.
Well, the new algorithms, right? You notice that with Instagram.
Yeah.
It's so different now. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. No, it's this new world we live in.
Yeah. Although that being said, I did read that the newer generation, beyond the millennials, are going back to old school phones because they say like their anxiety is through the roof
Oh, yeah.
from constantly
Well,
being on smartphones.
Harry Styles, he did a show, I think, in Manchester, and he was giving out those old cameras.
Oh, that's cool.
And he's like, could you put your phone away? Here's the camera. Take a few shots and do it like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
we did it in the 90s.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's kind of cute.
I love that.
Actually, because
Yeah.
his audience would be young, right? They wouldn't even know what these phones, they'd be like, how do I operate this phone? But,
Yeah.
Or the camera,
Yeah.
sorry.
Click, 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 click. Remember you had to click the wheel around?
So, yeah. And there was one other thing where I thought was interesting where some artists, and apparently they do this in clubs now, and I haven't been to a club in years, so I don't know. But they put a sticker over the lens of the camera to kind of just encourage you to not film and put your phone away. And I
Yeah.
was like, okay, I can see that. Yeah, engaging. Well, there you have it. Thanks, Jack White. You really inspired this conversation because it really got me thinking, and I just thought it was an interesting topic.
Yeah.
So, as people that we like to go to live shows,
Yeah.
let us know. What do you think? Cameras at phones at concerts. Your thoughts? Should they be banned? Should they be allowed? What do we think?
What do you think?
Yeah. Thanks so much for listening. Katie and I really appreciate your time. We post a new full episode every other Friday. The podcast is available on YouTube and Spotify. And we will see you in the next one.
Bye for now.